Welcome, everyone. Tico Casamayor here with the Strive 305 podcast show with my co-host, Ervans Agustin. Everybody knows him, the good-looking one in the group. We are here today. We have some wonderful guests. We have Carlos and Edlene from their uniform company, but we're going to talk about them later because I have more important things to talk about right now.
Wow.
Number one, we have a sponsor today, Ervans. These guys come with a sponsor. They're so fancy, they get sponsored their show. And our sponsor today is BB's Bakehouse. And what I love about this sponsor, you know, my favorite thing about BB's Bakehouse is the double chocolate chip, New York style Tico Poop Emoji cookie.
They still don't name it that, do they?
It's named after me, and I have a mug, I have a coffee mug now. I should have brought that. It's a coffee mug that says home of the Tico Poop Emoji cookie. I'm not kidding either. Mm-hmm. So we have the Poop Emoji cookie today. We have a pistachio cookie. We have a matcha tea.
They
whatever,
are good, though.
30 grams of protein.
Despite how they name it. It's good.
Yeah, really good stuff. But I'm just, thank you very much for,
this one's pistachio?
to them. I believe so, yeah. But don't eat it because it's for the people in the show to see.
I'm waiting.
Oh, you're Vons. Okay, so let's get our thank yous out of the way. I got to thank our mayor, Living Cava, for putting this all together and letting us have this here. We've got our boy Manny Sid, who also takes care of us. He's from the Strive 305 initiative.
Manny does not like us to say his name, so we don't say Manny.
Because he goes, no, Tico, not about me. It's not
don't talk about Manny.
It's all about Manny.
So we won't say Manny.
And the mayor.
Thanks, Manny.
And now we are connected to the Beacon Council Foundation, which I believe in February we're actually going to kick off. Let's see.
Yeah.
And we'll, for all you know, this could be our last show. So it's very exciting that you guys could be officially the last show.
What, they have standards? They're not going to cancel us?
Yeah, probably. Because of me. They'll probably keep you, though. District commissioners, you guys they have 25 stores, so I'm not going to even bother figuring out which. They're all the district commissioners are with them. So we mentioned them all today. Thank you to Wells Fargo for the maintaining our website. They're sponsors of the website. By the way, I didn't tell you this, but I'm going to tell you this now so that you know. Oh, I forgot. Grant Miller, Michael Miller, Community News.
That's
Thank
right.
you for the studio. Thank you for this. Thank you to Anthony,
our producer, who puts up with all of this.
Yeah. Okay, so I wanted to tell you this before we started, so you know what Strive 305 is all about. But I'll do it again so everybody can get a refresher. Strive 305 is an initiative put in place by the county to help the small business community. And all the big businesses, large businesses, they get help from everybody. They get actually begged to come and be here. But 90% of the businesses, I believe it is, 90% of the business is small businesses. Yep. Is it 80 or 90, something like that? It's a ridiculous number, which is what drives the economy in Miami-Dade County. So that's what Strive 305 is all about, helping people starting up business, people with a business, people looking to expand their business. The Strive 305 Hub website, you go to that and you're going to have all kinds of resources. We put resources there on how to network. A lot of people are scared to talk on podcasts, Carlos. A lot of people are scared to go marketing and meeting new people. A lot of people don't know about events. Where do I go? What do I do? So we have a section just for that, just to help them. And then they have an ambassador, which you call him and he'll teach you, he'll take you with him, which is me. That's my favorite thing to do. So there's that. Then there's a section where they help with financing. There's how to get money, how to get grants, how to get loans, if you want to expand, all of that. And then there's all kinds of incentives that the county provides for people that have low credit, people that have good credit, all kinds of, there's a financing section. There's the build out section. I'm sure you guys with 25 locations know how a building permit could destroy your bottom line, right? Waiting and waiting and waiting. Well, there's a section that helps just with that, including an AI piece of that puzzle, and that you can submit your plans, and within 48 hours, you're going to get a readiness report on how your plans are for the county before you submit. And it'll fix any little problems you have that you might submit and get it returned for something ridiculous. That AI software, that's the purpose of it. So that alone saves tons of money. Yeah. I don't have countless stories, or Vons and I have countless stories of people that have rented their spot, started their build out, getting all excited. 6 months later, they close their spot, they go out of business because they had to pay rent for 6 months and they never got their permits signed, they could never open. So that's the purpose. That's basically what the whole Strive 305 is. And then the podcast was put here to promote the Strive 305, to promote small businesses, and to promote resources for small businesses. And you guys are one of those that fall under both. You're not only a small business, but you're also a resource for small businesses.
That's true. You definitely are a resource. I don't think.
So you provide both things, all right? I'm already out of breath, so you're going to have to take over. I think I did all my things. So now Ervans will ask these serious and important questions. Ervans, please, I need you to focus most of your questions on Carlos. Make sure he answers them.
Carlos?
Yes.
Which one's he?
Yeah, exactly.
This one?
Yeah, because he says he wanted to talk as much as possible throughout the show.
And I will defer to my wife.
Thank you guys both for coming on the show today.
Thank you for having us.
Uniform company. How'd you get into this type of business? Is that if I take half a step back, Actually, I would be curious if you first tell us about yourself a little bit. Like,
So
who are you?
We're the DePaz family, actually. We're all girls. There's 4 girls. 3 work in the business. We actually started with our parents in the flea market when they migrated from Cuba. So we sold clothing. We didn't sell uniforms.
Yeah.
As it transitioned, he opened up a location.
Here in South Florida?
Yeah, in South Florida on 20th and 20th.
Okay, I know exactly where that is.
Yes.
Yes.
So that was his first location. And then from there, he moved to Hialeah. Back in the early 90s, when the Marshalls and Ross and those type of outlets started coming in, the business started started declining. And then in the mid 90s, he decided to switch over to uniforms because Miami-Dade County had required school uniforms. So he had both. He actually had a travel agency, an insurance agency. He tried everything. He was, my dad is #1 entrepreneur.
Serial entrepreneur.
Yes,
huh?
and born and bred the girls, all of us, to be entrepreneurs. So it was inevitable that all of us were going to do that. So then we switched over to school uniforms in the 90s. My sister, Elizabeth, she actually went with my father, her Little League softball coach, worked in the airport, and he said to them, "Hey, do you want to come and sell uniforms at the airport?" They're like, "Yes." My dad put on his coat. He took my sister, which he doesn't speak English, only my sister. So he took my sister with him, and they did all the selling in the airport. And then I was in the back end. I was still in high school, so I was doing all the finance of the business. And then from there, transpired somebody who worked in the airport knew the charter company, Academica, that was opening up a charter school, Dura Academy. Nobody knew what charter was at that time. It was fairly new. So they tried to get school uniforms, and the other companies wouldn't do it because they didn't have enough time to forecast. So what ended up happening was that they came to my dad and they said, "We'll go ahead. If we open, you won the business. If we don't open because we don't have our CO, then I need you to return the money to everybody." And my dad said, "Okay, let's do it." So my sister was a cashier. We bought our first embroidery machine. I learned how to embroider, and she.
So you literally were making the uniforms at the time before?
Yeah, we literally were making, their uniforms. So from the ground up, that's how we ended up starting. And then Academica grew, and we grew alongside with them. So we have been very blessed.
That's an amazing story. So you literally were born into the business. It sounds like.
Yes. My sister was 19 days old when she was first taken.
She was the first employee when she's 19 days old.
See, I know that feeling because that's my life.
That's your life.
Yeah, basically. So that's also another part.
She's handled a whole lot better. She has all her hair.
Yeah. Thanks, sir.
Hey, we don't have hair.
Well, that's another important topic that they can discuss, and you could talk about too, because I come from that world, and that's not that easy. And there's a lot of people that come from that world, and there's a lot of kids that grow up saying, "I want to do my own thing," and they miss a big mistake in my eyes, because when you're building a business, you're building everything from scratch, right? You're getting to know who people, you're getting connected, you're having to learn everything you have, and then every business is all about who you know, connecting.
Yes.
And you're wasting all your parents did because you want to do your own thing and you want to be your own person. I get it, and I get the reason people want to do that, but I consider it a huge mistake. Take advantage of everything that your parents suffered. Yes. And use it.
And build on it.
It's like #1 rule. And then, your kids are probably going to do the same thing to you.
Yes.
They're going to want to do their own thing. They're going to want, I want to be a doctor, I want to be a dentist, but guarantee 90% that they're going to come back afterwards. This is too hard. I'm going to take over the family business, because they're trained. It's already ingrained in them, and it's natural and it's easy.
So ironically enough, when we all went to FIU. The 3 sisters went to FIU. We graduated from there. I studied finance, so I wanted to go to New York. And in my mind, I wanted to leave. I wanted to do all these things. And my mom, when I was applying for school, first I wanted to go to UF. And she says, "No, communism separated me from my mom. You're not separating from me." So that Cuban-American heritage of keeping a family together, so much so I stayed. My friends left. And by the time that they got back, we were already on store 2 and 3. So I had an advantage, obviously, staying here, knowing everybody. So much so he believes in that he brought in all our husbands to work in the business. So it's not only the 3 sisters, it's the 3 husbands also work in the business. So it's definitely that culture that he has built for us, has instilled in us, has instilled in our husbands, has instilled in his grandkids. So I pray and I hope that they do, continue it. And I think there's 15 of them. So I'm sure that there's some that
there's enough to pull from there.
Yeah.
That's amazing. For you just growing up in the business, and now, may I ask what your position is? Do you guys manage the different stores? Do you run the corporate umbrella, or?
A little bit of both.
A little bit of both?
When we initially started, Dad did kind of that, you run this stores, you run that stores, because he didn't want, any animosity or anything like that, especially when
Yeah.
husbands joined. And then as we started growing, we did develop a corporate structure.
Yeah.
So we run it parallel.
Yeah.
The grandfathered in, and then also the new, the new way of doing it.
How did you feel stepping into this, Carlos?
Amazing. I felt walking into this wonderful family it was a shocker for me in the beginning. Walking.
I guess it could be a lot. Like
It is. I mean, one thing is the business, and then one thing is the family, and then you combine it, and it's business all the time. Like
Yeah.
When we're sitting at the table, we're talking business. When we're traveling, we're talking business. So we're always talking business. So it's to get familiar with it, and now it's a norm. Now that's part of our life.
It's part of life.
The kids hear what we talk about. The family, when we're having dinner or whatnot, and some topic comes up, and it's
But it's innate experience that you're getting, because
Absolutely.
like you hear it and you live it every day. Other friends go to school and participate, but it's what you breathe in and day out, and then it helps you when you step into some of those spaces. And how many kids do you guys have together?
We have 4.
4. Congrats.
So ironically enough, him stepping in, and I just say a funny story, because my dad, when we were dating, he lived right next to my dad's location. My dad names his store his 5th baby. That's his baby. It's in Hialeah. He loves it, 26th Avenue. He's always been in Hialeah. He's never left there. When we started dating, probably a year into it, there was already talk about marriage and whatever. So he said, okay. He says, my dad opens the store. He's 87 years old. He opens the store. The moment it opens, that man had a heart attack, and after he got out of the hospital, went straight to work. That's how much he loves working. So one of the days, he says, I want you to open the store to him. He's like, this is the key and this is the alarm. He says, okay, don't worry.
This is dating?
This is dating.
Yeah, this is a test.
There's a lot to
It was
say.
a
This
test.
is a test.
Well, you're still here, so you did
Yes,
something right.
I passed that test.
He opens his store the first day. He's like, my dad was there. He's like, but why did you want me to open it? You're already here. That's okay. That's okay.
Yeah.
He goes the second
You
day.
just want to make sure you showed up.
He goes the third day to making sure he shows up. And then he turns and he goes, Cásate, Carlos, cásate.
That means marry her, marry.
Marry her.
So, yeah, that was my.
But that's
Wow,
half the
I
job
love
for
your dad, I think.
Oh, you would
Oh,
totally
you would
love
love
him.
him.
He's the one that does this.
Yes,
He's the spokesperson.
He's got stories.
I can imagine.
It's a
And
book.
You guys you're not a franchise?
No.
Why not? I ask because I've been approached by people with family business to help them franchise, because that's something I had done. So they wanted,
And-
how do we franchise?
you mind explain to folks the difference between a franchise and just owning a set of stores? Like, what's the difference?
I'm sure that you've analyzed this and thought about it and why
Yeah.
you did and why you didn't.
Well, we've been approached. I know that we wanted to keep it within the family. So, our growth has all been organic. It's all been word of mouth. We don't really advertise much, which is now what we're striving to do. And, in the future, the digital media has changed. Everything has changed, so we're evolving with it. And then the franchise, you lose that sense of family. You lose that sense of community. Even though we are in all these other parts of the state and even outside of the state, people still come to us and it's AUW family. Like, that's our hashtag. I think that that's what makes us us. And I think if we change that, it'll change our image. So that's most likely, we don't want to lose that franchise when you get to the franchise.
And you have the volume of family
Yeah.
to manage.
And I think also, being Cubans that we are, where everyone's emotionally attached to the
Right.
business, right? Once you start franchising it, you Americanize it, you feel like you're losing a part of the business. So I think you start getting into that aspect of it and not knowing how would this work, how will we control it, how would this affect us. I think that fear, maybe. I think it's still in the back of our heads of one day maybe we can do this, and if it's an opportunity we can do it. But I think that little bit of how do we lose? We're going to lose a part of what we've been working.
Your
Blood,
identity.
sweat, and tears.
Yeah.
How does this work? So I think not knowing that aspect of it.
And we did attempt to franchise once. My dad attempted to franchise, and it didn't, work out. When I tell you, like I said, he works 9 to 7 every day, rain or shine, cold, not cold, heart attack, no heart attack. So it's hard to find that same exact work ethic in, a bigger scale.
Yeah.
There
Yeah.
are few and in between.
So, as a person, I have 2 daughters, and I don't know about you, Tico, in terms of uniforms. I have several decades of buying uniforms and things, and I've been to many of the different uniform stores. I'm sure I've been to several of your stores, but my experience going into each of the stores always felt like this was the only one. It felt very personal, I guess, to the testament of what you're saying. It's not cookie cutter box franchise. How do you, when you're managing and running all these different stores, how do you navigate the customer experience? And how do you think about it, especially with so many different stores?
Well, this philosophy, again, I revert back to my father just because, and my mother too, because my mom and my father worked together and they worked alongside. My dad was a salesperson, my mom was a finance, hence why I always did that part with her. And she taught me since I was a little girl. But everybody has a cell phone number. So if they needed anything and they couldn't reach the store for whatever reason, you call his cell phone number. If I don't answer my cell phone number and a customer is calling me, my dad will call me to tell me, why didn't you answer the call? I'm in a meeting. I could be here and if my phone is ringing, he would say, why didn't you answer it? You should say,
Just blame it on Tico.
Yeah. So we do give that personal.
Yeah, it did feel very personal, and like if there was anything, like I don't remember specifically, it was a while ago, but like the logo that we need to put on the clothes, like the person who was doing it gave me their number, and we called them and they let us know when it was ready. So, and it did feel very personal, and which. When you go into those locations, especially at the beginning of school, where it's kind of just organized chaos, where everyone's just trying to get things, but the folks and your teams in the store just navigate it and make it happen, and it's always. I've always appreciated, and especially being on the other end of it, but I've always been curious, like managing the personal aspect of it, managing the logistics, and how are you, like now that you're in the driver's seat, how do you, there's a lot of layers, and I guess I'm trying to thread the needle. Like, let me shift it. What surprised you stepping into this? Because you grew up and you lived it, but like now that you're in the driver's seat, what surprised you that you didn't see coming?
I think navigating through everything, because it was instilled so young, it just became something natural.
Yeah.
Departmentalizing the part where we have to think about the logistics of the product, how it comes, the quality, making sure that it's to standards for everything. Then you have everything that deals with the employees. You want them to feel happy, you want them to feel safe, you want them to know, there's still standards that have to be there, but at the same time, you spend more time at work than you do with your family.
Yeah.
So that's something that we want, them to feel also a part of. And then the finance part of it, that's a big part for me. It's something that I very much enjoy, but making sure that it's completely stable, making sure that we don't overdo anything, overinvest, overstretch. And my parents have been excellent about that. So that part is just, okay, focus one thing at a time, and then how do we move from there? But it's something very natural just because it was instilled so young.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a baseball player that hits the bat. They hit it so many times, it just becomes part of their norm.
Yeah.
And I think it became part of our norm growing up in it. My oldest daughter asked me, how did you even know about things? Because my parents didn't know much about even investments when they first came from Cuba. And I said, I don't know. I was intrigued. We found out. And then, we just started doing it. So, again, it was just naturally born into it. And I think the younger the kids learn, the younger they start, the better it is for them. And when they hear it at the dinner table, ironically enough, it's like maybe it's boring to them at that time because they want to do a TikTok or they want to do this.
They still absorb it.
She said, my daughter tells me, Mom, you're always trying to teach me a life lesson. I said, you'll thank me later. I sound like my mother, but you'll thank me later.
We all become those people.
Yes.
Okay, you guys have grown the stores, right? Mm-hmm. You didn't franchise. And then the other way to do it when you don't want to franchise, because I actually have a family. I won't mention who, but they're a big family, and they had all these stores. Those are the ones that asked about franchising. But there was two mentalities. One, the parents wanted to go one way, which was franchising. Mm-hmm. But then some of the kids wanted to do something else, which was partnering, owner-partner. So there's two ways that sounds like franchise, but it's
the kids
not.
wanted a different structure.
They wanted to be owner-partners of everything. So open up one store, but partner with the person.
Gotcha.
And the partner runs the store. Open up another store, partner with the person. They're invested in each store.
So
whereas in franchise, what you're doing is providing how everything is run. You give them the structure.
The back
and what
end.
you're making basically is a percentage of what they're making.
Gotcha.
Right? The reason that you do these things, then you guys are not. I'm going to ask you why you don't. The reason that you do these things is what my life dream is, so that I have income coming in without having to work, right? I mean, you have to monitor, you have to look over it, but if you have the franchise and you have multiple stores and you have a franchise office which manages all those stores, it's just income coming in from what you created. Why not? Because what you're building seems like you guys are going to have to work it 9 to 7, like you said, every day, whether you're a heart attack or not, like your dad does. And I ask you this so that you could advise my people. And actually, I'm going to listen to it as well, because it's the same thing. You know, I want to, and everybody's always about the same thing. My best friend now, who's a little older than me, you have to plan yourself so you have...
An exit?
No, what's that income called? Passive income.
Passive income?
So you got the passive income. Once you get to a certain point of passive income and you're at a certain age, you don't really need any more.
Right.
You know, the rest goes to the bank to save it for your kids. And he's built his businesses to a way where that's what he's created, passive income. And what he owns are UPS stores for some reason. You know, and he's got an IT company, but he has that being run. And then the money comes in passively, and then he'll just visit the stores once a week to make sure, because obviously when you have stores like that and people running them, there's going to be times, which he had, where, you know, they're stealing. And then you got to deal with it and jump in, take it over.
There's always a percentage.
So, right. So what do you guys do? Do you have people running these stores for you?
So we do. So just to be clear, just because we have not, we'll never close our doors to the possibility of not doing it. It's not something that we had envisioned having in the short term, but it's definitely something that can be envisioned for the long term. But we do have currently, like, we have managers in our locations, and then we have district managers, and then they visit the stores, and we still go visit the stores ourselves. So we enjoy it. We still find that joy, and we walk by and we see people have the uniforms on. Like, oh, we didn't, you know. And somebody comes to you and they're starting their business for the first time, and they ask, "Oh, I created this logo. Can you put on a shirt for me?" And the vision becomes a reality.
Right.
So from seeing little kids start in kindergarten. When we started with Doral, their first senior class, we were there from beginning to the end. There's students that then now are in the work field that come back, either start their own business, wear nursing uniforms, work in the airport, and come back.
Come back with their own kids.
Come back with their own kids, yes. They have kids that work in our store. So in the summers, we have those high school students work. And that's something that they learn, you know, communication, how to handle conflict resolution, things of that nature. So I think the whole essence of it, that whole love for it, that's probably why we have not reached that franchise or things like that to scale higher. But it's never not on the table. You know, if that were to come.
See that feeling you just mentioned? That feeling. People ask, well, why do I do this? Because at least you're making money in what you're doing. I'm not making any doing this, but that feeling is the reason that he and I do this.
Yes.
You know, to see somebody come back to us a year later, my poop emoji cookie that everybody makes fun of. Brings sales to that BB's Bakehouse somehow or another. People want to go, I got to see what's this poop emoji cookie thing. It doesn't make any sense. And people go to buy it. It always sells out. You're welcome, George. So you know, so that feeling that you get after that, you know, that's the reason sometimes. It's not always about money.
Yeah.
But what everybody's here is about, or all my listeners are here about, and viewers, is we need to make money and we want to get to that point. We want to get to the point where you're at, right?
Yeah.
So what how about, okay, I'm going to ask you something else, which I've had difficulty doing, and everybody advises me to do, including my friend who's now living the life, right? Your business managers, district managers, ownership or percentage, do you guys ever do anything like that? Do you give them percentage based on an incentive to make them feel like they're owners?
So as far as ownership participation,
I never have, so don't feel guilty.
No.
Because I haven't. I don't know how.
I don't
really don't know how.
necessarily. We do have a bonus structure. So based on what the company does well, and my dad has always had that philosophy, the company does well, he has no issues with
How does he manage the bonus structure? Is it just him doing the numbers, or does he have transparency that everybody...
My dad works only
reason.
in Hialeah. The sisters and the husbands are the ones who run the day-to-day operation, run the business, decide on the structure, the marketing, the branding, and so forth. We're already in Gen 2. So we actually do the bonus structure based off of sales. So we target, you know, that if you meet those markers, then you receive the bonus off of that. They get them monthly, then there's quarterly ones. So it's all based off incentive.
And it makes a big difference,
Yeah.
right? With
Yes.
retention of the employees and with the work they put in and the effort.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have an
Mirren
employee-
Oka, who was on before, with Oka Aquatics.
Yeah.
She did she shifted and did the employee owned, but
Right.
that was part of her.
Vision, yeah, always there was a
so-
vision for the employees to own the actual.
Yeah, but for her, it was also part of her exit strategy.
Right.
Like at some point, she decided and gave herself a timeline. I created this business, but now I want to go do something else, and that may be part of the equation
Right.
for some folks. But like I think thinking of it that way, like at some point you may want to do that, so you set it up, and then you build on it, and as part of the exit strategy.
Yeah.
So
It's
it's
just
funny
also
'cause I talked to her a
reinvestment.
couple weeks ago,
Yeah.
so I can ask her about it
the,
just
other
to
part
see.
of, the other thing in my world is investment, right? Because if you're going to keep the company going, I have to spend another $7-8 million on new equipment to take it to the next
Right.
step.
Yeah.
And do I want to do that, right? And do we do that? And my employees, do they want that?
Yeah,
My employees have been with me 30, 40 years. A lot of them are getting ready to,
that's
retire.
That's family, though. So,
Yes, exactly. That's why I
Yeah.
can't, because I was thinking, wow, I'll sell the business. I can't do that to them.
Yeah.
I'll close the business, rent the space, and I can't do that to
Yeah.
them.
And that's what Miriam
I've
was
known them
talking
longer than
about.
I've known my family, my kid, and my wife. So I can't. But that's why I ask,
Yeah.
what other ways are there of growing, disconnecting, growing, not disconnecting? There's a bunch of different ways that you guys
Yeah.
can do this. It's not just
We can bring one of the
way.
lawyers on and others who talk about those things, who help businesses set up exit strategies, and then
Yeah.
I definitely.
Yeah, sadly, I know about almost all of those things. You get to an age where you've learned all these
You
things,
kinda
including
have-
franchising.
it's a good
I did a
thing.
franchise business once.
That's a thing too. There's three of us, and there's age gaps between us. So
Right.
it's deciphering, when is the exit strategy appropriate for who
Is
and
there
for
one?
what
And for
not.
when, yeah.
For when.
Yeah.
And franchising, it sounds simple, but oh my God.
Yes. It's like a 2,000 page.
Yes, and to get
It's a
and then you'd
process.
have to create everything that's in your dad's mind, that's in your minds, that's in your sister's. You all have to put all that on paper, and then you've got to figure out a way to be able to transfer that to a person that can manage it and do it. But you want to be able to make it almost monkey-proof, where it goes in and it's done by itself.
Right.
So can your business even be that way? That's the other thing you got to do before you do the franchise thing.
Yeah.
Where sometimes the partner relationship
Yeah,
is
it's
easy, maybe
easier.
better, because you get one of your district managers that wants to go to the next step, and you go, you know what, we're going to open up a store, you're going to own it, you're going to manage it, and we're going to own half of it, and now there's your passive income run by somebody that knows how to do it.
That makes sense.
So
That's
there's
interesting.
different ways
Yeah.
to grow this stuff, and again, once you get to that level, and it's
Yeah.
What else?
I was go ahead.
No. I was just thinking that for us growing up, it was always work. We were very blessed. God blessed us tremendously by the work ethic that we had to grow to where we're at. So we never really sat back and looked at that big picture of what you're talking about. Now,
Plus,
I
you
know-
liked what you were doing.
And we love
That's
what
what it is.
we do.
Yeah.
That's different.
Yeah.
A kid
It's not
comes
work for
in,
us.
a
It's not work.
little kindergartner comes in for the first time starting school. The excitement that they get just from putting on their uniform, it's. I know it sounds something so insignificant, but at the same time, it's something that they're starting their life, in school and
Yeah.
their career, whatever they're going to become.
And you get to
eventually
be
in
part
life.
of that.
Yeah, and we get to be
Yeah.
a part of that. So I think that's something beautiful in itself. Again, something very small that turns into something very nice. And when you see them graduate and when you see them come year after year, they do become a part. And there's some employees that stay friends with us, that they've gone over, they're nurses or this or that, and they come back, and it's a nice feeling.
It's
But
amazing.
we are in that age where we're starting to look at not necessarily an exit strategy, because I know I got a lot of years in me, but definitely a plan of what the future would look like for our uniform wear.
As part of that, like in looking forward, you already mentioned technology.
Mm-hmm.
How do you, what you do is, part of it is very physical, producing uniforms, sewing materials together. How do you, in this day and age, everyone talks about AI and flying cars or whatever, how do you navigate technology for your industry in how you approach it?
Well, ironically enough, we are in the middle of the process of starting a new software, newer ERP system. I had mentioned
What's the ERP stand for?
we're using Odoo. Is going to be this ERP software.
ERP is what?
ERP is like it's
What does
a
it stand for?
platform-
The ERP, the
It's a
acronym.
platform that will get all our how do I explain? Let me see.
Is it for accounting or design?
Everything. That's the thing.
Customer
That it
relations,
plugs in.
customer
It
relations
plugs in
management,
everything. It plugs in the
production.
accounting, the manufacturing, the
Oh, okay.
POS,
Inventory.
inventory. It ties in with Microsoft.
Okay.
So the ERP
So it's
is
the
a
entire
one-
back-end software for your business.
Yes.
Okay.
And for our website also. So we'll be relaunching our website either quarter 4 of this year or quarter 1 of 2017. So that's a very exciting strategy that we have this year in place. And I think that with that, it'll come AI, it'll come nice features where you'll be able to see yourself in specific clothes and things of that nature, things that we
Oh, on the
didn't have
customer's
before.
end, like, so just other
Where you don't
fish knows
try it
and how.
out, you can probably see it on without
Yeah.
actually physically putting it on.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Interesting. And then as part of the logistics, as part, like, I don't know, how many pieces of uniforms do you guys move from one place to another and have to bring in? And like, how do you guys navigate logistics?
So we do do a lot of our uniforms overseas, and
Mm-hmm.
then we receive those containers in our main warehouse, and then from there it's distributed over to the retail
Stores.
locations.
Wow.
Yeah, to the retail locations. So there's a lot of back end
yeah.
logistics behind it.
It's done with a lot of time too.
Yes. So we order
can
in
imagine.
September, October
Yeah.
for the following year that's coming in, for the following school year. And then we also have our medical scrubs that we manufacture, and we bring those in. So it's been a blessing.
Okay, so because we were running out of time, you have the. I'm trying to find out what your clients are. What's your demographic? So you have the students. You have walk-ins. People can just walk in and order small volume.
Parents like me.
No, yeah. But the schools usually you negotiate a deal with the school so that the school sends the parents
The
to you.
parents there, they'll tell us what logo.
Oh,
they
okay.
tell us
Right,
what,
and you're all set up for them. Hence, we felt like we could only go to
Yeah.
one place because that's what we were used to. We would go to one place. Except for me, as a young kid, I remember we had the uniform place,
Mm-hmm.
but then my mom would have to take me to Sears and get the Husky pants.
You had to wear Husky too?
When I was young, I was
had to wear
Husky.
those.
And then when I saw the Rocky movies before I went to high school, I went psycho, and that's when I became a gym addict and a workout addict because that whole Husky pants thing and having to go to Sears traumatized the hell out of me. But the day I walked into high school, I remember the first thing they made you do in high school for some reason, my first class was PE. I don't know why. And the first thing they did was make me run a mile. But I didn't know what I had done over the summer. So I get there, and I came in second place in the mile. I still remember the kid that beat me. And as I'm walking, destroyed, dying, because I was trying my best. Without my shirt on, walking back into the locker room, one of the cheerleaders from my previous school calls me, "Oh my God, what have you done? Look at you. You look like a whole different person." I still haven't forgot. Since that day, I've not been in a gym because it changed my life. But that's my story with having to go to the same place and having to go Husky. Very depressing.
we have
So
Husky,
you have
though.
those people. Yeah, now I'm sure you have
Now we
Husky. Yeah, because it's very pop. Back then, Husky wasn't popular. And so those clients, you have uniforms for businesses too, though, right?
Yes, small businesses, large businesses,
Not just medical though.
not just medical.
No,
We do hospitality, we do restaurants,
Police department.
How do you get 'em?
we do-
Yeah.
A lot of them are soliciting, but most of them are word of mouth.
So no marketing? You don't have any marketing?
Very little.
Oh, my
Very
God.
little.
You don't have Carlos out on the
amazing.
streets
Well,
We
selling?
have some. We do go out.
We do.
We do. But
But
most of
little
it is.
You gotta
compared
start
to-
putting on uniform, Carlos.
Yes, I need to.
No, I'm going to just sell for you guys because you don't have a salesperson. I'll sell your uniforms. You
We
give
do.
commission?
We
We
do
do
have.
have, but it's just we were selling ourselves. So in essence, we would go in and
Right.
pitch them. Then they would say, "Hey, I recommend this person because they did a good job, and I recommend." So that's how it ended up growing. You know, we do the uniforms for Little Medical. We do for we do for Swissport in the airport. So it just depends on the industry, but there's no limitation to who can be our customer.
Yes, we do hospitality.
Okay, let's say I own a business and I have 50 employees. So look, I'm working with one that has 600 employees. So I'll find out who's doing the uniforms. How do they get a hold of you? How do we find you, or how do we?
Yes.
I can give you my cell phone number.
Not me. You're telling them.
What's the website where we can find
The
you?
You're not telling me.
website?
You're telling
I'll tell you
my
my
people,
cell phone
my
number.
friends out there want to know. Hey, I have uniforms.
Oh, our website.
Don't call me,
is-
please. Don't everybody call me to get her cell because I have enough calls.
No, we do have a website, alluniformwear.com. We also have the 1-800 number, which is 844-ALL-UNIFORM, that they can contact. And again, they can contact any of us at any location. I mean, it just depends where they're located.
Is it
That's
true
awesome.
that every new client gets a ride with him in his Corvette?
Yeah.
Nice. And it's convertible too. So. All right, very nice.
No,
all right, that's it.
that's
We're out
not
of town.
true at all.
Out of time. I don't want to get in trouble.
Don't
We
say-
have another person
We're a
that-
national show, dude. You don't say that. Because now
What
he's
did I
going to get
say?
random calls from people in Ohio showing
no,
up.
he does,
It's
but he
7
does it.
degrees out there. They're going to come down just to ride with Carlos now.
But he does it all the time. He's all over Coral Gables giving people rides. especially the young pretty
Especially
girls.
this one.
You know, it's pretty-
It's a new Uber. I started
Uber business.
Uber.
Okay, well, thank you very much
No,
for
thank you
being
for
here,
having
guys.
us.
Thank you, Evans, for
Like you, Tico.
trolling me. And
Can we eat the
thank you
cookie
to
now?
everybody. Appreciate you. We'll see you in the next what is it? Next show? When's our next show? Don't say it. See you next time, and don't forget,
I don't know.
our betters. If you're listening to this before President's Day, February 16th, we have a big event at our betters at 11 a.m. And then the following day here at Miami Community News, we have another big event at 5:30 p.m. You will have Carlos and Aline will be at both of them, so you'll be able to see him and his Corvette. So we'll see you all then. Thank you.